Tonight on News 5 Live, Alwyn Arnold was stabbed to death following the Carnival Road March in Orange Walk. Police say it may have been an act of self-defense. Compal Williams responds to the slap on the wrist given to Carnival goer who assaulted him. In this week's episode of Culture Tuesday, we remember Jane Usher and her contributions to Belize. And star athlete Douglas Langford commits to Harvard University. We'll have the latest news stories for you in 1 minute.
Sustainable development. Protecting mangroves is more than a choice. It's a responsibility. The Mangrove Friendly Development Challenge is your platform to showcase designs that harmonize development with nature. Let your innovation shine and help preserve Belize's mangroves. Register by October 15th, 2024. Visit mangrovefriendlychallenge.org to learn more.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, September 24th. I am Sabrina Daly. 23-year-old Alwyn Arnold was stabbed to death on Saturday night after attending the annual Carnival Road March in Orange Walk Town. The Belize City resident got into an altercation with another individual, during which he was fatally injured. But was the individual with whom he was fighting simply defending himself from the vicious attack set off by Arnold? This morning, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told News 5 that after reviewing surveillance footage that was capturing the incident, it was apparent that Arnold was in the wrong for lunging after the individual who ultimately stabbed him.
We have received a bit of footage of that incident, and it was a fight. The deceased was the aggressor, I must say. The person who did the stabbing has not come forward. I guess he is in fear. But I don't see him being charged for murder. Having viewed the video footage, he was defending himself. So if he were to come in and he were to give his statement as to what happened, that would go to the DPP rep in Orange Walk for their advice. And I don't foresee a murder charge coming out of it because the deceased actually ran after him, aggressing him. And it was during that process, the fight, that the deceased was stabbed. So for me, it was more an act of self-defense, but we're going to see when that time comes. But like I said, it is difficult because these liquor establishments, many of them do not get police to work for them. And with the huge amount of people that goes to these establishments, it poses great security threat. We had to close down 2 of the nightclubs because when we went there, the crowd was swelling and they have no security, no police. How could you, right? We can't take things for granted. While you get the license to operate, there must be security measures in place to ensure the safety of people who come to your place. So the Orange Walk Carnival is very, very challenging, but we do our best to make sure that we police it the best that we can.
On Monday, a Belizean American man who attended the Carnival Road March in Orange Walk Town was arrested and charged for assaulting the Commissioner of Police. Compal Williams was on duty during the event when he encountered Jaron James McKay drinking beer out of a glass bottle. When he attempted to take hold of the bottle, McKay reportedly shoved him before grabbing the commissioner by the shirt. McKay was arraigned before the lower courts yesterday and was fined $1,500 for the offense. According to Compal Williams, the decision taken by the magistrate's court sends a wrong message to anyone who's intent on harming law enforcement officers.
This individual seems to be big and bad. His entire demeanor is disrespectful. And I spotted him like I did many other people, consuming alcohol from a Belikin bottle. He was in the company of a female. I believe she is his partner. And I approached him very nicely and I said to him, I said, sir, I cannot be consuming alcohol in bottles. And I went to retrieve the bottle from him. And when I did that, he pulled away his hand and he pushed me. I had a nice piece of rosewood in my hand that weighs about 5 pounds. And when he pushed me, I just kept my cool. And I told him again to surrender the bottle. At this time, he grabbed me in my shirt. I was wearing official police uniform. He grabbed me in my shirt and pulled my shirt. At that time, the officer I was with came and intervened between us, and he held on to him. And while the officer held on to him, he still held on to my shirt for at least a minute, saying to the officer, I want him, I want him. In other words, he wants me, right? I don't know what, if he had some kind of wish. But I, again, maintained my cool because if I had used my baton on him, it would have been a different story. The officers eventually subdued him, handcuffed him, and put him in the vehicle, and he was ferried away to the police station. I got a number of calls from different people asking me to give him a break, that he's an Iraqi vet and this, that. I don't care who he is. If you can assault the commissioner of police, then what are you going to do with the little constables to the bottom? And if it is that I allow a man to assault me and just allow him to go, then what message am I sending? So I said to those persons who called me, I'm not going to give him no break. He'll be charged and will be taken to court. Now, I find it very, very disturbing and displeased that this individual went to court yesterday and was only fined $1,500 for assaulting the commissioner of police. Now here you have Inspector Martinez, who was accused and pled guilty to assaulting a person who is known to always be involved in criminal activities, and who is accused of shooting Martinez's house, and Martinez get 5 months. But the man who assaults me just get a slap on the wrist and was told to go home.
The Belize Police Department was successful in keeping the peace in Belize City on Carnival Day. In fact, while the Commissioner of Police was out of the country for the Carnival Road March, Deputy Commissioner Dr. Richard Rosado ensured that spectators, like revelers, were safe during and after the event. But Orange Walk was a different story altogether, notwithstanding the efforts of Compal Williams to maintain law and order. There were at least 2 stabbing incidents, one of which was fatal. There were also several scuffles that happened along the Carnival route. Our question to the Compal earlier had to do with the challenges faced by officers tasked with ensuring that the annual event ran smoothly.
The Orange Walk Carnival is extremely challenging. If a matter of fact, I think that Carnival is twice the size of Belize City Carnival.
Yeah, but I know it's bigger.
It's extremely huge. And the thing with Belize City Carnival is that once the Carnival reaches its location, where it culminates, it dawns. Police send you home and that's it. In Orange Walk, when the Carnival reaches its location, the party just starts, right? And the thing is that there are a number of liquor establishments that have liquor license, and people go to these places and socialize and end up in a fight. People need to learn to understand that if you are going out to enjoy yourself, you do so in peace. getting engaged into fights and quarrels and so forth does not make things any better for you. And the thing is that you would hear people say, oh, well, she tell me this, she tell me that. If somebody says something to you, that not take nothing away from you. Sometimes you have to learn to walk away and not confront people who say things to you that you don't like. Because when that happens, then it ends up in a fight. You might end up to get charged. You know, it makes no sense. So the way how we behave in public is important. The way how we exercise self-restraint is important. And the way how we respect ourselves in public is also important. We, the police, cannot do nothing to alter the behavior of a person. We can only deal with you when you break the law.
A Belize City couple, Jania Arzu and her boyfriend Kendale Nunez, both police officers attached to different units, will answer to an incident that occurred at their residence in Port Loyola 2 weeks ago, when PC Arzu opened fire at Martinez with his service weapon. Earlier today, Compa Williams told News 5 that despite Nunez's indication that he will not pursue legal action, the pair must answer to the discharge of the firearm, as well as Nunez's responsibility to safely secure and stow away his service weapon.
While he may have a call in terms of the aggravated assault upon him, he don't have a call in respect of the discharging of the firearm in public. And more so, the weapon used is a service weapon. So he too will have to answer, why is it that his girlfriend had access to the service weapon? Because if you have a weapon, you must have some system in place to be able to keep it safe. The same way how the girlfriend could have found it and used it, the same way children could have found it and used it. We cannot have weapons lay all over the place inside a house. It must be kept in a safe location. So right now, both of them, the girl and the boyfriend, are in trouble. He feels like, oh, because he don't want nothing, he gets away. But that's not the case, no.
29-year-old businessman Aaron Flowers has been charged for wounding a food vendor. The food vendor, 30-year-old Salvadoran Catherine Savaria, told police that Flowers visited her food stand at the corner of Raccoon Street Extension and began to harass her customers. She reported that when she told him to leave, he insulted her and threw bottles of ketchup, pepper, and mustard at her, causing injuries to her ear. Flowers, in his defense, is claiming that he assaulted no one and that he is the victim. Flowers appeared unrepresented in the Belize City Magistrates Court this morning, where he was read 2 criminal offenses: aggravated assault and wounding. Flowers, who pleaded not guilty to both charges, told the court that he went to the police station to make a report against Savaria after she allegedly chased him with a knife. Flowers told the court that when he arrived at the police station and the officers there saw that it was him, they did not want to take his report. Flowers claims that he was injured during the incident and never got an opportunity to get any medical attention because the officer in charge at the station is a friend to the officer who was convicted of wounding him earlier this year. The sitting magistrate explained to Flowers that the offense for which he is accused is a very serious matter and advised him to seek assistance from an attorney to make a report. Flowers told the court that he will try to obtain video footage of the incident to prove his innocence. In her statement to police, Savaria says that Flowers was harassing one of her male customers and behaving inappropriately when she told him to leave. She alleged that Flowers told her that he is from the streets and threatened to take her life and her husband's. Saravia also told police that she picked up a knife in Fair and that her husband stopped a passing police mobile at the same time. There were no objections to bail. The court offered Flowers bail in the sum of $1,500 plus one surety of the same amount. He is due back in court on November 22nd. Flowers spoke briefly after meeting bail.
Well, you know what happened, the lady chased me with a knife and when me run to the police for rescue, what happened, the police spend the whole case for me. Right now I'm going to report the police, the prosecution branch. But the lady officer said, you never witnessed somebody run to a police for help. And when somebody run to a police for help, the police don't help the victim, the police turn around and help the accused.
But I want to tell you what the lady said.
I don't even know what the lady said, but my business, don't give my side.
Coming up, bridging the communication gap for deaf people.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy, and the ministry which I have received of the Lord Jesus, to testify of the gospel of the grace of God." The Apostle Paul was facing death when he spoke these words. He could have changed his course and possibly escaped death, but his ministry in serving Christ and others was more important. On September the 11th, 2001, the day of the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in New York City, the world had another illustration of such commitment. On that day, a Catholic priest and chaplain with the New York Fire Department was giving last rites to a fallen fireman. Out of respect for God and the fireman, the priest removed his hat and was hit in the head and killed by fallen debris, and became the first casualty on the ground. His funeral also was the first to be conducted. In the face of danger and death, he thought only of others and his commitment to Christ and the ministry that had been committed to him. May these examples lead each of us to commit ourselves to Christ and to live less for self and more for others. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Well, sir, I really did go through some stress with my barber. This man here, they push my hairline way back to the 90s. Sure. People, they call me BB Buck Farid now.
So I got a problem, right? I just do this photo shoot, and I want the best photo shoot. But somebody don't want me to post it up. I just tired of this, man.
I don't want to tell her to catch me on my way. I stopped at the shop and tell the lady I want $5 tacos. You could imagine when you give me? No.
What the your problem?
Honestly, life good for me over here. I just upgraded to the Digi1 Elite. I have unlimited postpaid plans, Digi TV, free home phone, and the fastest home internet.
I going to upgrade mines now.
The back and forth between the United Democratic Party's leadership and members of the Alliance for Democracy movement continues with both sides issuing press releases on Monday, slamming each other. The UDP's release announced what the party referred to as, quote, the deception and fraud being committed by the Alliance for Democracy Party in their continued efforts to disseminate outright lies regarding the UDP, unquote. The party accuses the alliance of using various social media platforms to do this, and it again vehemently states that it is not conducting a national convention on October 20th. In fact, the party's release states that the next national convention is not scheduled until after the 2025 general elections. Today, UDP Vice Chairman Alberto August told News 5 that the results of the votes at the upcoming rally will be totally void.
There's no national convention, and we are basing on the fact that the National Party Council had agreed by resolution that there will be no national convention of the United Democratic Party until after the next general elections, and that we're going to proceed to those elections with the current executive leadership in place. That is where we stood. But then we hear you talking about 205 delegates or something to that effect requesting a national convention. There are several things that has to happen in terms of a national convention. And Article 6 of the UDP's constitution deals with the conduct of conventions. And at Article 6, 5, the constitution clearly informs that before you proceed to a national convention, there has to be what you call a voters list for the purposes of those conventions. Just like an ordinary election, the Elections and Boundaries Department on nomination day provides you with a list of those persons who are going to the polls in the upcoming elections. The constitution of the UDP is designed in similar manner. The constitution at Article 6.5 informs that the list of the names of delegates and alternate delegates must be provided, must, it not say shall, should, or maybe, or must be provided to the Secretary General of the party at least 6 weeks before the conduct of a national convention. The last time I checked with the Secretary General of the party, there was no such list submitted to the Secretary General. We had, what, 5, maybe even 4 weeks before this convention. So the 6 weeks period has already passed. So whatever they're having on the 28th of October is basically being conducted with non-authorized delegates of the party, if you want to put it that way. If you want to put it that way, because there's no official list in accordance with Article 6.5 of the Constitution. None.
The Alliance for Democracy, meanwhile, maintains that the UDP Constitution does indeed allow them to conduct a convention and to vote. Albert Area Representative Tracy Tager-Panton, who is a member of the Alliance, explained to News 5 why they believe that their event and the voting will be totally legal, and they plan to proceed full throttle with their October 20th convention at the Bird's Isle.
Delegates of the party are voted on or elected in a constituency convention in the respective constituencies. The last time constituency conventions were held were in 2022 when we were preparing for the leadership convention and thereafter. And so those delegates, as far as we are concerned, as far as the constitution mandates, are in place until 2024, sometime in November of this year. For most constituencies, it's November. For other constituencies, it's a little bit beyond November. So those delegates are valid. I know that I've heard there's an argument that delegates are not valid if they're not registered with the Secretariat. All those constituencies registered their delegates with the Secretariat of the United Democratic Party. Delegates can only be removed if they voluntarily resign or if there's a new constituency convention that is held to elect delegates.
So there wouldn't be another portion of the UDP constitution that would be contradictory to what this part of the Constitution is saying that you are allowed delegates up until the next convention.
As far as I know, no. As far as my understanding of the constitution of the party, no. The delegates are ultimately the trustees of the party. They are the highest decision makers of the party, and they have said in an overwhelming number that we need to have a reset. They have asked for a convention to be convened.
Participants from across Central and South America, as well as the Caribbean, have converged upon Belize for the Inter-American Sign Language Linguistics Conference. It is the first time Belize is hosting such an event organized by the Inter-American Confederation for Deaf Professionals and Civil Society. The Confederation has brought deaf professionals and members of civil society together to formulate ideas on how to better live lives of deaf people and increase their accessibility in society. This 4-day conference began one day after the International Day of Sign Language and only a few days ahead of World Deaf Day. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
The exact figures are not known, but a study in 2013 indicated that the deaf population in Belize stood at roughly 13 to 15,000. These are people who struggle to communicate on a daily basis, many times even at home. As a result, they often miss out on education and employment opportunities, as well as basic social interactions.
Well, I grew up in deaf communities. It's a very common thing where you'll grow up and everybody around me signs. So of course, I grew up learning how to sign. It was just as easy for me as signing English, sometimes even better than speaking English.
Selah Davis grew up with a father who pastors a church for the deaf. She is now studying to become an international sign language interpreter. Today, Selah and her father were our interpreters at the first Congress for Inter-American Sign Language Linguistics Conference in Belize.
I came here to Belize from Venezuela to facilitate communication and relationship with the Belizeans. I work in the law and the government for the deaf in Venezuela. I teach a lot of the kids, and then so that when they grow up, that they will be able to be functioning parts of society, to create relationships between them and other people, and that throughout time that they'll be able to work throughout all of the Americas, and that we'll be able to all come together and work, especially in the media.
That's Annabelle Rene, the only deaf parliamentarian in Venezuela who also heads a foundation for persons living with disabilities. Rene advocates for policies that enrich the lives of individuals living with various disabilities. He is one of the main speakers at the conference. For Selah, translating Rene's interview was not simple because sign languages change in different parts of the world.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Most people don't know. They think that sign language is just all the same across all countries, and that makes sense. Maybe you would think that. But in reality, every single country, most of them have their own different language. Here in Belize, we use a form of ASL, so it's very common. Same with United States. But even in different Spanish-speaking countries, Mexico has a different one, Venezuela has a different one, Guatemala. So it's important to be able to facilitate communication between those languages just as much.
Juan Palomino, the president of the Inter-American Confederation for Deaf Professionals and Civil Society, is also in attendance at the 4-day conference. Palomino has a degree in education for the deaf. For this interview, Selah's father was our translator.
I've come here to Belize and I was welcomed here to work with different individuals here in Belize, and I'm really interested in meeting new Belizeans and see how I can support and help them, and that we can work together as individuals to continue to develop things for all of the Americas. And our hope is that at this event that we will have different individuals from different countries from all over the Americas come together here to Belize to learn more about each other and how to support each other.
The conference will see participation and presentations from numerous Central American, South American, and Caribbean countries. Belizean Svetlana Romero organized the entire event. She is also deaf and a member of the organization that Palomino heads in Mexico. Selah and her dad partnered to translate Romero's interview. Why did you planned this event?
We hope that the information provided, we as a country will learn and use to motivate the deaf community.
Selah and her father are bridging a gap that makes the world of difference for deaf people. Their roles as interpreters erase the challenges that come with communicating as a deaf person trying to navigate everyday life.
I think the best way would just be like, first of all, to go online. There's so many easy accessibility resources to just learn a few signs and then talk to a deaf person, because a lot of times they're very lonely because even sometimes their family doesn't speak sign language or sign language. So I mean, just learning a few words will make a huge difference. And then if you really find out to like it, like me, maybe you can get, a career in it, and it can pay a lot of money. So,
reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
After the break, teachers in Damgriga protest silently over long-delayed increments. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Evening, everybody. Not one, not two, but 3 fan on, TV, and all the lights. Hey!
Small changes, like turning off lights and appliances when leaving the room, can make a big difference in your energy usage. Talk to your family about energy management today. Do a little, conserve a lot. Need help? The BEL 24/7 app has tools to get you on the right track. Download today and let's talk energy management.
We love our cars. They take us where we need to go and allow us to explore, work, and even make memories. RF&G Insurance prides itself in offering coverage options for you. We are pleased to reintroduce our Super Act policy. Drive with confidence, knowing that you are protected on both public and private roads. Experience outstanding service and reliable protection that is tailored to your budget. WhatsApp us at 670-8700 or visit an agent near you to learn more. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
It's been 5 years since the death of the beloved Jane Usher, otherwise known as Miss or Ma Jane. She is remembered for her contributions to the credit union movement, working diligently at the Holy Redeemer Credit Union for over 65 years, and as a humanitarian, assisting Belizeans with health care, housing, and financial security. Under her leadership, the HRCU grew to become one of the most successful financial institutions in Belize. In tonight's episode of Culture Tuesday, we look back on the legacy of Dr. Jane Usher and her contributions to her country. Here's that story.
Born Jane Ellen Mary Price, Jane Usher is the sister of whom many refer to as the father of the nation, George Price. But through her service to the Belizean public and contributions to the exponential growth of the credit union movement, she has made a memorable name for herself. She began as a clerk in 1944 and climbed the ladder, becoming CEO in 1956. Through her competency and hard work, the institution flourished.
I remember that when I was told by the Bishop of Belize that I had to take over the credit union, I couldn't even make out a deposit slip because the person I left in charge was not able to continue, and they gave me the credit union. And I just stayed there and worked, and I'm happy to have made the first million, then I made the second million and the third million. And don't ask me how many millions we are now. But I'm still there.
Miss Jane worked diligently to grow the HRCU, but she is revered for her work in politics and government as well. She served as Deputy Minister of Health, Housing, Cooperatives, and Credit Unions. She would assume the role of President of the Senate in 1989. According to her son, Francis Usher, service to others was a core value she instilled in them.
Well, they raised us from childhood to help other people, first starting with the family and then outside. And it just got in us, and we just kept on going. No? So we always put ourselves last, the person in front of you first. No?
Her daughter, Carolyn Matos, reiterated her mother's drive to help others in all circumstances. The lessons her mother taught her through her acts of kindness remained with her into adulthood.
I remember as a young child, something she said, there was this, we had just gotten out of the office, we were walking outside to go to the car, and another lady stopped her, little old lady, and she just wanted to talk. And I remember telling Mom, I said, come on, man, we're hungry, let's go. And she said, you know, and she never disciplined me hard, but she said things in such a way you feel so bad afterwards. And she said she just needed somebody to talk to. And I said, but we hungry, you know? And she said, but no. She said she probably didn't have anybody. And she just wanted to. He said, you know, sometimes Pete, because they call me Pete, he said, you know, you have to give somebody else. And it's not always about you all.
She is fondly remembered for her interpersonal skills and her ability to liven up a room. Her son, Robert Usher,
believes it was part of the reason people gravitated towards her for assistance.
I think her success at the credit union has been that she's a people person. Miss Jane walks into a room and she lights the room up because she is very vocal. She is going to speak. She's not going to, like sequester herself in a little corner. She's going to get out there and she's going to talk to you. And she will let you open up. And when you open up, you will relate to her your concerns, your fears, your desires, and she will then assist you in trying to find solutions to those desires that you have.
The legacy is not supported solely by her children, but also by the people she worked with. The staff at the HRCU looked forward to greeting her whenever she stopped by.
I've known Miss Jane now for the past 5 years, going on 6 years working here at the institution, and I've never one day had a disappointment while working here. She greets me every morning. I go in her office. I always give her a kiss on her cheeks. She's a very lovely lady. Any person that will be around her will always leave and say Miss Jane is one of a kind.
Miss Jane is full of life. She's truly an inspiration to everybody. She's the first face that we see in the morning. Your morning doesn't start until you tell her good morning and you see her.
The attitude of kindness and hospitality is a lesson that she also passed on to her staff.
She's taught me how to talk to people, how to treat people, how to do my finances, how to spend my money. She's taught me that the credit union was built on trust.
Jane Usher helped shape a generation of Belize's national leaders, inspiring them to lead with kindness for the love of their country.
People remember Ms. Jane for the work that she has done at Holy Redeemer Credit Union. That most people, when they talk about HRCU, they're going to say Ms. Jane, meaning that they're going to Holy Redeemer Credit Union. And it was amazing, the life that she had, that she worked probably until sometime early this year when she had a spill and broke her pelvic bone. It was just an amazing what that Ms. Jane has done, that she has touched the lives of thousands upon thousands of Belizeans, the small man and woman that does not have access to the bank, that can go to Ms. Jane, borrow and leave money for sending children to have an education or build a small house.
Belize bid farewell to Dr. Usher in 2018 when she passed at the age of 101 years old. At the funeral, her great-granddaughter Sophia Usher delivered a speech commemorating her life's work.
She is an incredible inspiration to women of all ages and walks of life across the country, an example of the possibilities that exist when women play an integral role in the development of our nation. It is on the very formidable legacy of women like Ms. Jane that we stand in our efforts to achieve parity for women and girls in this country. We are forever grateful for her service. Ms. Jane is truly without comparison. I don't know if she will ever join her brother in having official conferral of the status which befits her legend.
Dr. Jane Usher believed that after she left the earth, her legacy of kindness would live on in memory.
I think they will remember me for what I really did in life. Besides the credit union movement, the people that I have helped, the people that have come to me for help.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The state of emergency has expired, and over 100 young men and women who were swept up in the operation are now back at home with their families. From June 24th to just a few days ago, the prisoners spent the past 90 days in programs to discourage them from returning to the same life. They were picked up from areas of Belize City and the Cayo District, including Cotton Tree Village and Another World in Roaring Creek Village. Volunteer with the Leadership Intervention Gang, Raymond Footy Gongora, was a part of the program.
We really needed to see what was the problem and why these guys keep doing what they're doing and really coming back and forth. Okay. And we find out there was a lot of trauma in a lot of their lives. Things happen where it's not dealt with, none at all, and it's dealt with streetwise.
Okay, so now some of them say that they had gainful employment, they were working for a living, they were maintaining their families, sustaining their children. Now they're back out on the streets with no job, no way to maintain their kids. What happens now? Will there be some assistance given to them, to their families, for them to help them sustain their kids or to get back employment?
All right, as it is, while they were there, the LIU, the head and the LIU officers went to see them. Each one of them individually see what were their needs coming back out. They see who all had kids who needed help with their kids going back to school and who were part of the LIU working program come out back. They had checks for them who were working with the LIU. Some of their wives and so went and received it. And coming out back now, the LIU is working back with them, having them come in and see where we go from there, no?
But some of the men are not pleased with the treatment they received at the Belize Central Prison. And today they told News 5 that the last 90 days of their lives were hell. They believe that they were unfairly swept up and locked up for 3 months. 2 of them were gainfully employed with children to sustain. Nonetheless, they want to uplift their lives for themselves and their families.
I spent 90 days for no reason, no charge, nothing. I got my paper, I could send home for my paper. You understand? That cell 2, the multi-max are there. 2 weeks, then take we out, they tap a riot, then pepper spray all away. When we got a tribune, nothing, they not got fire out. So what we do at prison?
Actually, I say we try to start riot down. We just gone like 3 days. They want to make an example out of we. So then they just come and say we try to start riot. They lock down the whole jail and spray we down one by one. Everybody handcuffed behind. Then in the tribunal, the police they tell the tribunal, the chairman that I had our gang member, I well known in the streets, all kind of thing. So I tell the man, you do my background when I work or thing then. Man say we are investigate that right now. I tell them straight. Then they say I get charged, but watch out, still there with a free.
It's rough, mommy. I tell her, cause end of the day, you're there for nothing, and then you're just there, they have to go through this, you know, with a lot of them young boys, and then a lot of them don't know what they want, you know, cause they gone there at a place there with a raging and eh. Well, I try to get head now, no, mommy. I want to try to open a leaf food business and thing, you know, get on my foot and start do my thing, you know.
When we return, celebrating Gilbert Ellis's 108th birthday.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
My name is Hermine Vega. El Patio Grill has been using Belize Bank for over 25 years. We only use Belize Bank at our restaurant. That's why we were able to win this trip to Europe. I had never been to Europe. We found out it was Madrid and we were excited and we went to this football match. The teams reached before the game and everybody was just outside, you know. You can't explain, the noise just roared like 3 blocks down the street, but when you got in there and you saw 70,000 people in there, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I had to pinch myself to make sure it was real, you know, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I'd say. My lucky plus one was my son. He's 18 years old, so he was really excited and he enjoyed it as well. He said it's his best trip ever, so it's a priceless experience that we got. Belize Bank has always been there for me. Whatever transactions or whatever I need to do, they're always there for me. I would recommend everybody to use Belize Bank. It's the oldest bank in our country and they continue to do their best.
tickets and get a chance to win a $10,000 home vacation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
This September, Smart is bringing you deals that are bigger and smarter than ever. When you sign up for broadband and add a postpaid plan, you get to enjoy 2 months of free add-ons. Customers that sign up for a select plan or above and get phones for as low as $80. It doesn't end there. Switch to Smart Prepaid and get more value for your money. Switch your chip and get your SIM for only $1. One large social media data bundle for 3 months and phones for as low as $60. Smart has bigger and smarter deals for you. Promo ends September 28th. Smart, bringing people together.
It's that time of year again. Time to celebrate being Belizean and do it in style. Enjoy incredible discounts on our wide selection of vibrant colors like 15% off Berger, Penta, and domestic decorative paints store-wide, 25% off Penta Decon Matte Emulsion, and 25% off select Penta Flat Emulsion, Weather Shield, and High Gloss paints. Plus, 25% off select Berger 303, 404, and Everglow paints, 30% off Valspar paints, 40% off all Dutch Boy paints, and up to 40% off discontinued and clearance colors, 20% off all Pisaforte tiles, all mirrors, and Eureka vats. Plus, major discounts on clearance items. So don't miss out on these amazing deals. Come in today or contact us online. Brothers Habet wishes all Belizeans home and abroad a happy and safe September celebrations.
Three years ago, his parents made the difficult decision to relocate him to the U.S. at the age of 14. Today, Douglas Langford Jr. committed to playing college basketball at Harvard University. Langford grew up in the culture capital, Dangriga. His father, Douglas Langford Sr., is a respected basketball player in Belize who had dreams of one day joining the NBA. Those dreams were never realized. But when his son came along with similar desires and the dedication to realize that dream, the best option was to get him into a high school basketball program in the U.S. Douglas Langford Jr. has been excelling ever since, both academically and athletically. Life has now come full circle for his family, as Langford Jr. is one step closer to the NBA. News 5's Paul Lopez tells us more.
Belizean basketball athlete 17-year-old Douglas Langford Jr. is headed to Harvard University.
It means a lot to finally get this accomplished because, you know, upon arriving to America my freshman year when I was 14, the coaches told me, you have a lot of potential and you have the ability to change not only your life, but your family's life forever. And it wasn't something that I took literally. I was just cheering to play basketball, you know. I wasn't thinking Harvard was never in my mind.
Langford has officially committed to playing basketball at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts. He secured a 4-year scholarship that is valued at approximately $700,000 Belize dollars. Born and raised in Dangriga, Langford's parents decided to relocate him to the U.S. at the age of 14.
As a parent dedicated to trying to support your child, as any other parent would, you make sacrifices and don't think about them. You push through, you encourage, you hold on to their hands for as long as you can, and then you let go so that you can allow them to make good decisions that they will have to uphold as they grow older. But I would say for me, watching him grow into the young man he has become has been nothing short of incredible. I know people like say, how's the saying? Monkey no say pick me black or something like that. Well, the truth is, Douglas James has always been a disciplined and dedicated young man.
Douglas was the captain for Team Belize at the FIBA Under-18 AmeriCup 2024, held in Buenos Aires, Argentina in June. Standing at 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in at 200 pounds, Langford received offers from at least 6 different tertiary education institutions in the U.S.
Going into this process of hard work and, just seeing how the chips were on the table, for me, I feel like the best fit was Harvard, and it means a lot because, yes, you can take away basketball. Yes, you can take away athleticism, but, you can't take away Harvard, especially a Harvard degree. That's something I have for the rest of my life. And I feel like, that's why this was my best choice. And it's just a next step in my basketball journey to become a better player and a better person.
Adding to his accomplishments, Langford was also named the 2024 MVP at the Basketball Without Borders camp. The NBA basketball camp brought together 60 of the top high school age prospects from 17 countries in Brazil.
What would you say you cherish the most, playing for Harvard as an athlete or the academic pursuit aspect at Harvard?
I would say the academic at Harvard, because it's the best in the world, hands down. It doesn't get any better than that. But playing basketball there with, a head coach who's, to me, I call him he's like a guru to me. I always had a passion for Coach K at Duke, and he was the assistant coach there. And then he went to being the head coach at Michigan, and he left, and now he's at Harvard. So to me, it was like, if I can't get Coach K, I can get a sample of him and at Harvard. So, it played a big role.
We also spoke with Douglas Langford Sr. He was beaming with pride.
My dream was to play in the NBA. I never made it. And my son came along and we made the decision for him to go to the States. I know for him to get better at playing basketball, pursue his education, it would have been best for us to let loose of him for him to go at the age of 14 to get that start. I'm so proud of him, and it's like a dream come true. I would never have thought, Paul, that when we sent James to the States at the age of 14, a day would come that he would commit to Harvard. I never had Harvard in my mind at all, man. I will say it again, it's like a dream come true, and I want to tell him congratulations.
And his parents are not the only ones filled with joy. Langford has been receiving praises and congratulatory messages across social media from those at home. He begins his journey at Harvard in summer 2025.
I'm proud. It's something that I just want to share with the people because it takes a village to raise a child. And I thank everyone for their support, for being in my circle and, for just looking out. And it really means a lot to see that, a lot of people support me and want me to do good. So that motivates me a lot. I can't let all these people down. And I just want to say thank you, Belize, and, Belize all the way.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The Ministry of Sports has issued a release congratulating Langford for commitment to Harvard University. The release says in part, quote, Langford Jr.'s journey in basketball is characterized by unwavering dedication and resilience. He has been an integral participant in the National Primary School Program, organized by the National Sports Council, NSC, where he developed both his skills and his passion for the sport. His outstanding performance at the recent Argentinian tournament further established his reputation as one of the premier young athletes in the region, ultimately leading to his recruitment by Harvard University, unquote. The average lifespan for Belizeans is 70 years, and while there have been quite a lot who have passed on well before this age, from accidents or from some type of illness, there happens to be a few who surpass the 70. Such is a man named Gilbert Winston Ellis, also known affectionately as Mr. Bertie. He lives alone on Nursey Street and is quite the independent man, but his daughters now take turns to visit with him daily and care for him. Today, News 5's Marian Ali stopped in to wish Mr. Bertie a happy birthday and filed this report.
This is the truth. I don't feel bad. I feel all right for 108. I feel good.
You heard right. Today, Gilbert Bertie Ellis is 108 years old, tying Leonora Patnett, who died in 2021, as the longest living Belizean on record. Ellis, who lives alone, shared with reporters today that aside from just a slight hearing impediment, he has no known illness, does not suffer from any kind of pain, and is not on any special diet.
No have no special food, no special nothing to eat, nor drink. Anything you everybody eat in the house I eat. I don't want no special food. I don't got no pain like that, but I keep me back from the pain. You know. I was always fortunate, baby, to be painless.
Ellis celebrated his 108th birthday on Sunday, a day filled with cheers and wishes, jokes, and, yes, a birthday cake. For him, his life has been one of many joys and many pains. He has fathered many children, and today one of them, Gloria Ellis, who is visiting from abroad, told us that her father was never harsh or mean with them.
He was an easygoing man. You see him with his voice there. I mean, he was always soft-spoken. He never hit me. That's why I'm like, no man will hit me, because my father never did. So he was soft-spoken and always, listening and encouraging and stuff like that.
Remarkably, Ellis still lives alone and is still very active. In fact, he didn't want to retire from the taxi service he offered, despite his children asking him to. He decided at age 100 to finally throw in the towel on work and labor.
My father is a very independent man, so he lives alone with caretakers. We come and visit. Yes. Mm-hmm. He has a caretaker in the day and at night, and he goes out, plays his dominoes when, as my sister said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We kept asking him to stop driving, but he said when he's ready, he's going to do it, because he's very independent, as I said, and he is self-assured and obstinate. So he stopped driving when he wanted to, not when we wanted him to.
The Centenarian has survived 4 major hurricanes, including the one in 1931 and Hurricane Hattie in 1961. He loved sports and worked with many private companies, including Santiago Castillo Limited, and did his own work. Just 2 weeks ago, during the tribute to Belizean patriots, Gilbert Ellis was recognized for his contribution to community service. And he showed us that at 108, he still has his faculties intact, as well as a good sense of humor. What do you enjoy doing now?
Being around.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Up next, beyond imagination, art extravaganza is open to the public.
Evening, everybody. Not 1, not 2, but 3 fan on, TV, and all the lights. Hey!
Small changes, like turning off lights and appliances when leaving the room, can make a big difference in your energy usage. Talk to your family about energy management today. Do a little, conserve a lot. Need help? The BEL 24/7 app has tools to get you on the right track. Download today and let's talk energy management.
unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Isani Cayetano, Marion Alley, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected. Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Beyond Imagination, Art Extravaganza is open to the public. This exhibit is a collection of artworks from past students and adult artists. All participants in the primary and secondary art skills training project led by artist Fiona Huang. The artistic works of 75 Belizeans are displayed at the Mexican Institute in Belize City, showcasing the origins of their creative journeys and the evolution of their craft. News 5's Brittany Gordon was there to witness the unveiling of the pieces. Here's that story.
Art exists everywhere. It reflects society through the artist's eyes, allowing others to resonate with them or view life from a different perspective. Today, around 75 students shared their pieces in an exhibit titled Beyond Imagination, Art Extravaganza at the Mexican Institute in Belize City. The display is a culmination of the 10 years students have worked with the art teacher Fiona Huang. Christine Huang, Fiona's daughter and fellow instructor, tells us about the showcase.
This exhibition is showcasing the work of our students for the past 10 years that we are working in Belize. And these are the works that they continue to do even through the pandemic. So I hope to show everybody their passion, and also for the youth that came to visit the exhibition, for them to have a platform to exchange maybe their interests, the hobby, the techniques, different things.
Huang explains that many students have grown with the program, developing into artists who inspire the next generation of creatives.
In the beginning, we started with primary school students. And then, like you said, they grew up and they continue on to learn their arts. So we provide the courses for high school, and now the high school students graduated. So we have actually from primary school all the way to adults to teachers or past students who wish to become art teachers, that they came back to the studio and asked for trainings for maybe the visual arts CXC teacher, or different kinds.
Huang's art studio specializes in drawings and paintings. There, students learn to work with an array of mediums such as watercolor, gouache, or acrylic. 14-year-old Isabella Waldman has been training under Fiona Huang for 3 years. Over time, she has honed her skills in her favorite medium, watercolor. She tells us about the 5 pieces she displayed in the exhibit.
There are some pencil drawings of some busts, like marble statues we have in the studio that I've done that I'm extremely proud of. But I'd say there are 2 paintings in there that I am definitely the most proud of. One of them is a street study that I did in watercolor. Both of them are in watercolor, by the way. It's my preferred medium. And it's of a street study, and it took a lot of time. It took about 3 sketches, 2 of which failed, of bigger canvases because I did it in too much detail. And it took about 4 tries for me to get the sketch right, and then having to modify as I go along. And it took a long time to finish, but I think that's why it's one of the ones I'm the most proud of. It took so much hard work to do. And the one I am for sure the most proud of is a painting I did. It's a watercolor painting of St. Joan of Arc. And it is like this full scale. It was a replica of one of, I believe, a Renaissance painting, but it is it's one of the bigger paintings I've done in watercolor.
The program was created after Fiona Huang observed that most primary schools did not have a robust art program. Jaira Young has been a part of the program since its inception 10 years ago, when she was attending St. John Vianney RC Primary School. She told us about the 4 pieces she has on display.
2 of them were a part of my SBA. One of them was one that I did from a long time ago. And then one was a peace poster that I won first place on a couple years ago in Standard 6.
And what was the creation of these pieces like, and what do they mean to you?
Okay, so the ones for the SBA, those are what I did in 3rd to 4th form, what I sent for my CXC. Those ones, my theme was life and death, and so I did 2 that were basically, one was an anorexic woman and the other was a woman trapped inside an hourglass, and it was just basically showing the fragility of life, seeing that at any time life could just go like that. The one behind the peace poster, well, the theme of it was peace, so I just went and I thought about something that is, how peace should look in Belize. And then the first one, that was just a little crazy one that I did when I was younger.
The exhibition is sponsored by the Foreign Ministry of Taiwan through the embassy in Belize. The Mexican Institute periodically hosts art competitions and began collaborating with the studio to train students to compete in Mexico. The studio offers a space for students' pieces to be appreciated by a greater audience. As an art teacher, how rewarding is it for you to see your students' art displayed and appreciated by other people?
Extremely rewarding, especially from Miss Fiona. I know you never see her on TV. It's always me on the TV, but she wished to let you know that she prefers to stay at the back, but she wants her students to shine, and that's her whole purpose in Belize, to help the students to find their passion and help them to give them opportunities, to help them find a career path in art, and to let them shine.
The display shines a light on the multitude of artists in Belize waiting for an opportunity to showcase their talents.
The art program is actually very, very important, because if you may say, oh, it's art, what can you do with it? a lot of things, book illustration, advertisements, all of that. And that's what Miss Fiona wished to bring to the students in Belize. It's not just about doing painting as an independent artist, but there are a lot of other works that involve art, like design, graphic designs especially. Even videography, that's one of them as well.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.